Training for a half marathon is hard, but what if it didn't have to be as hard as you're probably making it? Coach Morgan from The Run Experience here, and most training plans are going to give you that 12-week to 3-month time frame to train for a half marathon, which is perfect. It's going to give you plenty of time to train. And if you're starting there, you're already in the right place. If this is your first half marathon or first training plan, I know 3 months may seem a little bit daunting, but trust me, the weeks are going to fly by and race day is going to be here before you know it. You're going to want to start off that far in advance so you can begin to build good habits. What kind of habits, you may ask? Well, that's going to be adding in a strength training routine early on, adding in mobility, making sure you're staying on top of your nutrition, getting in extra water and sleep, all those types of things.
Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, you're probably gonna be sore during part of your training. Let me rephrase that. You're definitely going to be sore during part of your training, and that's okay. That's what this is all about. We are tearing down our muscles, letting ourselves rest, recover, and building them back up again, right? So it's expected that we're going to be sore. But early on, as we've been talking about, this is the time to get to know your body, know the difference between I'm just sore, I had a hard workout yesterday, and I'm gonna rest up, I'm gonna do my mobility, I'm gonna stretch, and I'm gonna feel good tomorrow. Maybe still a little sore, but nothing painful. This is the time you really want to listen to your body. And if this is your first time entering into this kind of training or really pushing yourself, then it may be a little confusing sometimes. You really want to do your research on yourself, right? And the best way that I found this to be helpful is to actually keep a journal. I keep a log of everything that I do when it comes to my training. And at first it may seem a little overwhelming, but you'll get into the flow of it. It really helps down the line. I write down what I ran that day, what I felt, maybe my knee was bothering me. Okay, just on a scale of 1 to 10, what was the pain? I write it down. Did it go away the next day? Yes, okay. That means probably just, pushed myself a little hard and, I foam rolled, I rolled out, I did some stretching, now I'm good to go. But if this is something that is persistent, maybe every time I do a specific workout, my knee's really in pain for a day or two and I'm limping around a little bit and it's really preventing me from doing other things, right? It's not just slowing me down, it's I can't physically do it. That's gonna be more on that injury side, something that we need to address immediately so that we can help get rid of that and get back into training. And if you're still having trouble deciphering between the two, look, you can always head to our channel, to our app, and check out our Injured Runner program or our injury prevention series. In there, you'll be able to dig deeper into any body part that you are having issues with. Maybe that knee pain is just a constant thing and you're I'm done with this, I want to be over it, right? Dig into there, make sure that while you are adding in your strength training and your mobility, because we already talked about that, you're already experts with that, but I want to make sure you guys are doing the right kind that's going to help out that knee, because maybe there's just some exercise that you're missing in your training and that could prevent all this. So go ahead and check that out if you have more questions on that. Another one of those good runner habits to be building from the start of our training is to, how do I say this gently, not be too picky with our runs, right? Sometimes they just gotta get done. It could be too hot, too cold, too windy, too snowy, too, perfect. But look, we have no idea what the weather is going to be on race day. Well, maybe you do, but for example, let's take the Boston Marathon, right? One year it was 30 degrees and hailing and wind and snow, and the next year it was 60 and then there was some kind of rain that went in there. Look, sometimes you're just not going to know. So being able to practice in any condition, look, I'm not saying go out during a hurricane or a nor'easter, okay? I understand, but it's only going to make us stronger as we go on. And when I say stronger, I mean both mentally and physically, because going out there and just head down into rain for 45 minutes or what have it be, that takes a lot of mental strength to do that. And I know, I've been there. So on race day, if it starts to rain, you're I've already ran in the rain. I know how to run in the rain. This is not a surprise to me. And that's what we want to avoid, is surprises. And another thing that can be super helpful is, for me, I found living in New England for most of my life, running in the snow, I learn what socks work best, what shoes work best. Maybe I've had some like really soft socks that just hold in the moisture, and now I feel like I have 2 puddles on my feet when I'm running, right? Time to get some new socks. I go out for another run when it's snowy, they work great. So this is also time that you can do a little gear check, right? Are my shoes working? Do I have the right clothes that I want to wear, especially when it comes to race day? Because if we find out on race day at mile 9 that we have some chafing on our favorite t-shirt that we weren't sure it was gonna chafe, that's not a surprise we really want to deal with. Another thing to think about is your fuel intake. So for me, I have found that, and like most other runners, on hotter days, I need more electrolytes because I'm sweating a lot more and I need to kind of keep that intake going. But on hotter days, for me personally, while I love my chocolate flavored nutrition, on really hot days, the chocolate disgusts me. I cannot eat it. It just feels like hot fudge trying to go down, which kind of sounds good right now, but on a hot day, to me, it's just, I can't do it. So I know to switch up the flavoring on a hot day. I like more citrusy things. So knowing that aspect is like really helpful as well too. So when I'm ready for race day, whatever the weather might be, I know that, okay, it's hot, grab my citrus ones. Oop, it's gonna be a cold day, I grab my chocolate flavored ones. This same mentality can be applied to how we feel on that day, right? So some days maybe too tired, too stressed, too angry, don't feel like you have enough time, anything like that can be applied to this. And while it may seem like some runners are just like, oh, it's energetic and ready to go, I am telling you, that is not the case. 100% not the case. I don't know any runner that is just ready to go every single day and strings together a perfect workout or a perfect long run. And look, don't let social media fool you or Strava fool you, things like that. I personally have had to pull myself out of some deep, dark places. Emotionally, I've had to roll myself off the couch and crawl outside to get in some of these runs. And we never really regret the run. And it actually genuinely makes us feel better afterwards. So just trying to keep that in the back of your mind, to push that to the front of your mind, that I'm going to feel better after this. This is going to make me a stronger runner, because I know that you're not going to show up on every single race day feeling great, just as you're not feeling great every single day during your training. You can't know that. You can't guarantee it, unfortunately. I wish we could. I'd have had a lot better races if we could, right? So learning to push through those mental barriers as you're practicing, especially early on, is going to be extremely helpful on race day. You know when you start to go down, you know how to pull yourself up. This is a good time to practice our running mantras, right? You can have anything, you can repeat, anything. For me personally, it's gonna sound a little silly, but if you've ever watched the movie Finding Nemo, Dory does the just keep swimming, just keep swimming. I do that with just keep running, and that like kind of goes with my pace normally, and I can adjust it, but whatever works for you, right? Maybe think about the reason why you're out here racing, what that means to you, anything to just pull yourself up out of there so that you can, be in that positive headspace, because when we're there, we're gonna run a lot better. Now that you guys are all pumped and ready to hit hard on your half marathon training, you're like, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna do everything, and take a breath, because something that I unfortunately see all too much with whatever distance people are training for is they go out too hard. That can be applied to both race day, right? They're going out way above their pace that they should be at because they're super excited. That's why we practice the long run, we practice pacing, being consistent. But in your training, right? That's why I said early on in this video, we want to start out nice and easy. We don't want to be hitting things super hard. By that, I mean we don't want to be in the gym every single day, lifting hard. Then I'm gonna go out and do a run because I'm ready. You guys got 3 months, right? Because you listen to me and you're gonna take that time. You're gonna take that nice long 3 months to build up your training. It is called a build up for a reason. If we start up here, you know, the top level of our training, there's probably only one way that it's gonna go, down, where you're gonna plateau, and it's not gonna be fun, okay? This is supposed to be fun, and I want you guys to do well at your race. So we're gonna start off nice and easy in our training, you know, take advantage of feeling good and use that energy and devote it into getting some extra mobility work in, because that's super important and it really doesn't take that much time. So work on that, you know, be very specific with your strength routines, because as we talked about earlier, maybe you know that you have like a little injury somewhere that needs extra attention. This is the time to do that, because it's not going to get easier as we go on. Everything that we've gone over today pretty much deals with starting at the beginning of our training, starting off strong, starting off smart and healthy, right? That's the best place to start, because you can carry everything all the way through your training. But unfortunately what I see is, even if people can put together a great training plan, you know, they can build up smart for those 3 months, they get to race day or like race weekend, and then they just kind of fall apart, maybe due to stress, you know, and they've never raced before. Like, what do I do? So lucky for you guys, I have already made a video covering top mistakes for race day for half marathons, and you can check it out right over here. I will see you guys in there, and happy training.